This is going to be a super unpopular opinion, but I feel that we need to embrace our triggers. I feel like triggers are actually sacred and they're very important, and they're actually a guide that is trying to help us heal and see our truth. Now, I know that can be hard to hear or to understand, so let me just kind of explain. I feel like in this world we're always like, stay away from triggers, don't get triggered, this is a trigger warning, oh my god, don't watch this if it's going to trigger you, don't listen to that, And I do feel like there's a time and place for all of that. Okay, I'm not saying go looking for your triggers and go watch these terrible things that are going to make you feel terrible things. Like, no, I'm not saying that, because if anything, I feel like you can get triggered just by talking to your mom or like talking to your best friend. Like, it could just happen at any time. So don't go looking for these triggers. But I do want you to stop being so scared of your triggers and kind of learn to embrace these triggers, if anything. Triggers are just showing you what needs healing. Triggers are just showing you what you're hiding from. Triggers are just showing what needs love, what needs light, what needs to come out of you. These triggers are trying to help you. Your body's trying to help you. Your body's like, I don't want this. This is not helping us. This is hurting us. This is bringing us down. So I'm going to make it very known that this thing is not helping you, that this thing is hurting you. I'm going to be just like, bah, in your face so you can't ignore it. And what people do try to ignore it. They're like, I'm going to go drink. I'm going to go binge watch something. I'm going to go binge eat. I'm going to go do something unhealthy to take my mind off of feeling this. Because at the end of the day, you're just afraid to feel whatever the emotion is that's coming up with that trigger. And I know sometimes these triggers can be something really intense. Maybe it's a very intense memory from your past that you maybe need extra help or professional help. So I understand that sense where you're like, I can't do this right now, and I especially can't do it by myself. That is totally acceptable. However, I also want you to notice that, like, okay, then that's a sign that you need professional help. Whatever that looks like for you. You want to go to a therapist, you want to go to see a counselor at your school, like if your university or your school in some way offers counseling, go to that. I'm sure there's like a help center or hotline that you can call that you need help with. There's healers or holistic practitioners. Like, there are options. I think a lot of people try to say like, no, there isn't, I can't do it because XYZ. There's always an option. Even if you start small with yourself, like listening to podcasts about healing or reading books about healing or watching YouTube videos about healing, like, there are ways. It's just more about like, are you willing to do the work? And most of the time people are like, nah, I don't want to. I don't want to look at that. I don't want to acknowledge it. Guess what, girl? That thing that you're so afraid of facing is affecting your health, your mental health, your ability to love yourself and to love others, the way you operate in your everyday life, the way your life is going. Like, it affects you more than you realize. And that's why people like saying like, no, don't get triggered and look away and don't look at this and whatever. It's like, it's just going to keep ruling you. Anything you run away from, anything that you avoid is going to keep ruling you. It's like in the background of your mind, constantly telling yourself that I am not safe. And I'm going to keep trying to run from this monster, hoping that I can outrun it one day, but you're not going to, because it's inside of you. You are it. It is you. You become one. And the more you avoid it, the bigger and scarier it gets. I've always seen my triggers, or like my trauma, as this like monster. I would always call it a monster. And anytime I either run away from the monster or I give in to the monster, like I say like, yeah, this is my trauma and this is so bad and I can't believe this happened to me and they're terrible people. If like I start doing that blame and like other people's, they're the ones that did this to me, like it's almost like the monster gets bigger. I start feeding the monster. The more I give into the fear, the more I give into the sadness, the more I give into the resentment, the more I give into the guilt or the shame, whatever it is, like the more I give into it, like then it gets bigger and stronger and worse. So I've learned to embrace these triggers and embrace my trauma, I guess, as well, because I've learned so much about myself through them. I've learned how to love myself deeper. I've learned how to be more patient with myself. I've learned how to be more compassionate with myself. I've learned how to be more present in my body, which is something I was so afraid of being. I just started to learn how to be more present in my body. I started to honor my internal cues and signs from my body telling me if something's off or if something's not okay. I've learned how to reconnect with my intuition, because your intuition is inside your body. So if you're like, I can't listen to my intuition, I don't hear that little voice inside me, or I don't ever know what to do, it's because you're disconnected from yourself. It's because you haven't honored what goes on within yourself. And people hate to hear this, but it's like, you have to go through the darkness to see the light, to find the light, to find yourself. I always see it as like a bedroom. If you have a bunch of dirty shit in there, like just old clothes, old shoes, newspapers, dirty, sheets, if it just piles and piles of old dirty stuff, eventually it gets to the point where it's so crowded in there you can't even step into the room anymore. You can't see the room anymore, because it's just piles of garbage or whatever. And that's how it gets inside of us. If we stop processing emotions or stop seeing what happened and looking at it and things like that, like if we keep trying to keep things in the shadows, well, guess what? Your body, your light, your overall aura gets darker and darker and darker and heavier and denser, and to the point where you just can't find your way out. And I think a lot of people live there in a place where they're like, I can't find my way out. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get myself out of here. And oftentimes I see it's because they're afraid to feel. Essentially, that's what it all comes down to. People are afraid to feel the heartache, to feel the pain in the body, to feel the sadness, to feel the guilt, to feel the shame. All of these emotions come with sensations in the body. And for all of us, I feel like it feels too overwhelming. Because when we were kids and these feelings came up, they were scary. They were big, because as kids we're so sensitive to everything. So everything feels so giant to us. And if no one's there to kind of guide you or to teach you how to do it, well, guess what? You're just I'm going to disconnect from my body. I'm going to disassociate. I'm going to run away in some way. And everybody does it in different ways. And I also believe this is why people are so anxious all the time, because it's like you have your body's trying to talk to you. Your body's trying to tell you something is off, something is not right. We're carrying something that doesn't need to be here. This is not helping us. This is hurting us. And then we just like, I don't want to feel this. No. And then we start freaking out because you're resisting. You're telling yourself, no, I don't want to feel this. The more you resist, the worse things get. I know this sounds like almost like opposite. Like, no, why would I give in to my triggers? Like, they're just going to make me feel worse. Nah, girl, avoiding them makes you feel worse, because it's something you have to carry every day. Almost imagine like you're carrying this like 20, 30, 50, 100-pound bag with you around, and you're just like, I'm exhausted. And it's like, yeah, girl, just put it down. And when I say put it down, it's like, yeah, just release, just cry, scream, write, dance, hop around. I don't know, do something to get it out of you. Acknowledge it is the biggest thing that you could do for yourself. Acknowledge your sadness, acknowledge your anger, acknowledge your shame, acknowledge your guilt, and do it with love. That's the biggest thing. Nothing will ever change if you do it with hate. If you're just like, I'm so stupid. I'm so angry. Rah. Nothing's going to change. You have to talk to yourself in a loving way. Be a loving parent to yourself. Tell yourself, it's okay that I'm sad. It's okay that I'm feeling this. And almost like, sometimes I like to give my emotions like their own life. Like maybe even give them a color or give them a shape, or maybe they're a character. But almost treat like your emotions like its own entity. And you can even I feel like treating it as a child is also good. Like each emotion is like a little child. And I always, whenever I feel something big, I tell myself, or tell that emotion, whatever the emotion is that I'm feeling, I just say, I see you, I feel you, I witness you. I see you, I feel you, I witness you. And I just keep repeating that over and over. And I try to feel it wherever it is in my body, and I put my hands there, or like I hug myself if it's something that feels big. And I just do some deep breathing, and I tell myself, I'm allowed to feel this. It is okay to feel this. I am safe to feel this, and just kind of walk myself through that. And as you just feel it, and just acknowledging it and just deep breathing, like you're already releasing it. You're already letting it go. You're already taking some of its power away from you. And then I just like to imagine like golden energy just pouring all over me, and that's unconditional love. Like after I release and I finish releasing, now I call in unconditional love to fill up all these parts of me that were once like hiding in the darkness, or all the parts of me that are now empty. I fill them up with unconditional love. Something like that. Definitely make it your own ritual and your own practice. I just want you to be very aware that the more you avoid yourself, avoid your emotions, avoid your past, avoid your heartbreak, avoid whatever, all these uncomfortable feelings, the sicker you will become. Eventually, it gets stuck in your body. It's not going to go anywhere because it can't. You have to be the one that lets it go. So you're storing all of these emotions, and eventually it turns into illness. And also your body starts to not function the way it's supposed to. And I do believe that's why a lot of people gain a lot of weight, and they're very stressed, and they start losing hair, and they start going and getting grays, and they start, prematurely, I guess I should say. Or they start having some kind of illness, or their knees hurt, or whatever, all these things, like, because it's like it can't go anywhere else, so it's going to start showing up in physical ways until you decide to let it go. And by letting it go, it's just by feeling it. Just cry already. Just let it out. Just admit that you're hurting and let it out. And I feel like I should make a meditation or something to guide people through this. If you want that, if you're interested, at least hit a thumbs up or leave me some kind of emoji, and I think I will soon start going into meditations, because a lot of this stuff is not logical. It's not reasonable. Our emotions are not logical, and they're not reasonable. They just aren't. There's something you just feel in your body, and that's how you process them. So I can only say so much, because it's not up here, and everybody wants to be up here, and everybody wants to, use logic to understand emotions and how to heal and all that stuff. And it's like, no, it's just something you feel. It's something you process in your body. It's something you cry, you yawn, you scream, you shake. It happens in your body. That's how you process emotions. So I'm going to keep talking about this. I love talking about emotions and how to alchemize them and how to feel them, how to set yourself free, how to come back into your heart so you're not scared of these emotions anymore. You can just embrace all of it. Because another thing, the more of these emotions, these unprocessed emotions you keep inside of you, the harder it is for you to accept love. They block you from receiving love. They block you from really giving out all of the love you have within yourself. It becomes tainted. It doesn't come out as pure anymore, and you don't really feel love coming in, because again, you're blocked. It's like you have this metal wall in front of you, and nothing can come in and nothing can go out. But I'll leave it at that for now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below, share with your friends, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.